Good morning, students. Today, we focus on the fourth chapter, namely moving charges. It is also called as electromagnetism. In this chapter, the following concepts we learn. First one, Oester's experiment, Ampere's swimming rule, Fleming's right-hand thumb rule, and the magnetic force which is acting on the charger particle and special cases, and definition of magnetic field, and the units of magnetic field. The following concepts we learn one by one. See, earlier electricity and magnetism both are separated. Earlier, scientists thought that electricity and magnetism concepts are separated and there is no relation between these two. But in 1820, a physics scientist, namely Christian Ørsted, has done one simple experiment. What he has done, he kept one magnetic compass needle, and surrounding this compass needle he has kept one current passing conductor. Because of this conductor, the current passing conductor can create magnetic field. Because of this magnetic field, this needle deflected, and he concluded that the Ørsted concluded that there is direct relation between this electricity and magnetism. But later, one more scientist, namely Ampere, he concluded that moving charges can create magnetic field. But the same concept, reversely, one more scientist concluded, that is Michael Faraday. He concluded that change in magnetic field can create electricity. Ampere proved moving charges can create magnetic field, but Michael Faraday proved change in magnetic field can create electricity. And finally, one more scientist came, namely Maxwell, and he proved and he unified this electricity and magnetism combinedly, and he developed the new science that is namely electromagnetism. Because by using electricity we can create magnetic field, by using magnetism we can generate electricity. So that is the reason this topic name we call it as a electromagnetism. Now in this first topic we will see what the Ørsted has done. So once again we will see the concept one by one. Now see here, in this experiment, I have taken one magnetic compass needle. Magnetic compass needle, it is hanging on its vertical axis. It can freely rotate along this axis. Nearer to this magnetic compass needle, I placed one current carrying conductor. Here in the diagram, the current carrying conductor I have taken A and B. Current carrying conductor I have taken A, B. If the current is passing from A to B, if the current is passing from A to B, now here one more thing I have to give you, that is the direction of east, west, north and south. Now if the current is passing from A to B, the current carrying conductor I have placed very nearer to this magnetic compass needle. In such a condition, the magnetic needle is deflected towards its west. The magnetic needle deflects towards the west. Suppose if I am reversing the current, direction of the current, instead of A to B, if the current is passing from B to A, instead of passing the current from A to B, the current is passing from B to A, the magnetic needle deflect towards east. Once again, I am repeating, if the current is passing from A to B, the magnetic needle deflect towards west. If the current is passing from B to A, the needle will deflect towards east. So these things we can get, by observing this one, we can conclude that a current carrying conductor, around the current carrying conductor, the magnetic field is created. Because of this magnetic field, this needle is deflected. The amount of deflection can be altered by increasing the strength of the current. If you are placing this magnetic needle very close, then in such a condition the deflection will be more. And the direction of this deflection, we can get by using Ampere's swimming rule. What is Ampere's swimming rule? Here one person, this is the head of the person, this is the body of the person, these are the legs, and this is the left hand and this is the right hand. Suppose if the current is passing from bottom, that is leg, enters into the leg and leaving the head, and this I can take it as a direction of current. In such a condition, the needle will be deflecting towards his left hand. Suppose, once again I am taking the current carrying conductor. Just imagine a person is swimming over the current carrying conductor. How the current is entering and how the current is leaving. The current is entering from the bottom, from his feet, and leaving from his head. That means this is the direction the person is there. Here entering, here it is leaving. Then in such a condition, the needle is deflecting towards his left hand. Suppose if the current is passing from head to the bottom of the feet, in such a condition, the needle will be deflecting towards his right hand. So this law we call it as a Ampere's swimming rule. So from this simple experiment, we can conclude that, a current carrying conductor, around the current carrying conductor, can create the magnetic field. Because of this magnetic field, this magnetic needle is deflected. So that is the reason current carrying conductor can create magnetic field. See, for this case, I'm holding one marker in my hand according to Fleming's right hand thumb rule. In this one, if the current is passing from bottom to top, how I am holding this marker pen, you see, observe this one. My thumb shows the direction of the current, and this my curled fingers, this shows the direction of the magnetic field. So once again, how I am holding this marker pen, that is the direction of the current. That means the current is passing from bottom to top. How I am holding my curled fingers, that gives the direction of the magnetic field around that conductor. Next, what is the meaning of magnetic force? Already in the first lesson, static charges we already know. Static charges can create electric field certain extent. Suppose if any test charge, if it is placed in that region, the test charge will experience a force, and that we call it as a electric field. So once again, recollecting that concept, suppose here I am placing one unit charge. Around that unit charge, it can create electric field. In that region or space, if any positive test charge, if it is there, then this positive test charge will experience a force, and we already know that equation, the force F bar is equal to Q into E. Already this concept very well know in the first topic itself. So F bar is equal to QE, or simply F is equal to QE. What is the meaning of electric field? The region or space around a charge in which a positive charge will experience a force, and that region we call it as a electric field. And similarly here we have to find the magnetic force. Now how can we find the magnetic force? We'll see. Magnetic force, how can we find? We'll see. Now here I am taking one charge. That charge is moving with certain velocity. And magnetic field is acting in this direction. The magnetic field I am taking as a B bar. And here E bar stands for electric field and B bar stands for magnetic field. E bar stands for electric field and B bar stands for magnetic field. Now here in one particular region, here a particle of charge Q is there. If it is moving with velocity V bar, and in that one the magnetic field is acting in this direction. The angle between those two is theta. The angle between those two is that velocity vector and the magnetic field vector is B bar. Now in such a condition, this charged particle definitely will experience a force because of this magnetic field. Now I want to know the force equation for this charged particle. In which direction it is acting? Suppose if it is B bar is the magnetic field and V bar is the velocity, and angle between those two is theta. In such a condition, the force will be acting perpendicular to the plane of those two vectors. Perpendicular to the plane of those two vectors. Perpendicular means V bar and V bar both are in one plane, and the force will be acting perpendicular to those two. That means if V bar and V bar, if both are in x and y plane, and this force will be acting in z plane. It is just similar to vector product properties from your first year lesson. So once again, if the charge, if it is placed here, if it is moving with velocity V bar, and magnetic field which is acting by making certain angle to this velocity vector V bar, and the force will be acting perpendicular to those V bar and B bar, and by using, because here the derivation is not possible, that is the reason finally directly I am taking the equation. So that equation is F bar is equal to Q into V bar cross B bar. F bar is equal to Q into V bar cross B bar. Or in scalar form, you can write the equation F is equal to BQV sin theta, because we already know it is a vector product. So in vector product, usually you will get sin theta. If it is a scalar product, you can get cos theta, but it is a vector product, so that is the reason here you have to get sin theta only. So once again, you see the equation, the force equation, F bar is equal to Q into V bar cross B bar. Q into V bar cross B bar. Or in scalar form, you can write F is equal to BQV. F is equal to BQV sin theta. BQV sin theta. Now we have doubt. Suppose if the charged particle and magnetic field, the both are acting in the same direction, that is this V bar and B bar, if the both are parallel, what will happen? If V bar and B bar, if both are perpendicular, the force will be maximum or minimum. Suppose if the particle is not moving, in such a condition, whether the force is acting on the charged particle or not. Now we'll discuss the cases one by one. See, once again, the magnetic force acting on the charged particle. Magnetic force which is acting on the charged particle. So for this one, first I am writing the equation, scalar form equation. F is equal to BQV sin theta. F is equal to BQV sin theta. Where theta is the, already told you, where theta is the, this is V bar, this is B bar, and here the charge is there, and the force is acting perpendicular. And here the theta is the angle between, V bar and B bar. Here the theta is the angle between V bar and B bar. Now see, here the cases, few cases. What are the cases? When the particle will experience the maximum force, when the particle will experience the minimum force, those conditions we have to learn. First, suppose if the particle is moving parallel to the direction of magnetic field, if the particle is moving with velocity V bar, if it is parallel to the direction of V bar, in such a condition, if theta is equal to 0, in such a condition, the force will be, that is BQV sin 0. We already know sin 0 value 0. That is the reason in such a condition force will be 0. Suppose if the particle is moving with certain velocity V bar, if it is moving perpendicular to the direction of V bar, perpendicular to the direction of B bar, perpendicular to the direction of B bar means theta is equal to 90. If theta is equal to 90, what equation you will get? F is equal to BQV sin theta. F is equal to BQV sin 90. We already know sin 90 value, it is equal to 1. Then the force will be maximum. In such a case, F is equal to, you will get BQV. That means if the charged particle moving with velocity, if it is moving perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, in such a condition, the force acting on the charged particle is maximum. If the charged particle is moving parallel to the direction of magnetic field, in such a condition, the force will be minimum, that is 0. Suppose if the charged particle is not moving, that means if the velocity is 0, then in that condition also you will get the force value is equal to 0. So everybody must remember this equation because this plays very important role while solving the problems. So once again, all of you see, the charged particle, if it is entering into the magnetic field, then because of this magnetic field, the charged particle will experience the force. Then what is that force equation? F is equal to BQV sin theta. F is equal to BQV sin theta because it is a vector product, or F is equal to BQV sin theta. Then we will get three conditions. What are the three conditions? If the velocity vector and B bar vector, if the both are parallel, then force is 0. If the velocity vector and B bar vector, if the both are perpendicular, then the force is maximum. If the particle is not moving, in such a condition also, the force acting on the charged particle is 0. Now, from this mathematical equation, we see the definition of magnetic field and its units. Now see, F is equal to BQV sin theta, or B is equal to F by QV sin theta. Now, from this one, we can define magnetic field and its units. Now see, magnetic field or electric field, both the definitions are almost similar. In electric field, the region or space around a charged particle in which, when the charged particle, some other charged particle, if it enters, it will experience a force, then that field we call it as electric field. And similarly here also, if the current carrying conductor, region or space around the current carrying conductor, if some other magnetic substance, if it is experiencing a force, and that field we call it as a magnetic field, or the force per unit charge, if it is moving with a certain velocity, and perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, and that we call it as a magnetic field. Or simply you can learn the region or space around a current carrying conductor in which its influence can be felt by magnetic needle, and that region we can call it as a magnetic field. Then what is its units? The magnetic field units, SI units are Tesla, or simply you can use T, Tesla. How can we define the Tesla? See, when 1 coulomb of charge is moving with a velocity 1 meter per second, that is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, will experience a force of 1 Newton. In such a condition, the magnetic field, it is said to be 1 Tesla. Once again, when 1 coulomb of charge, one coulomb of charge, if it is moving with the velocity of 1 meter per second and perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field with experiencing force of 1 Newton, then the magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla. Magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla. So, we will revise the concepts one by one. Now see first one, what Oersted experiment proved. This experiment concluded that there is a direct relation between electricity and magnetism. Moving charges can create magnetic field. So, if the current carrying conductor, if it is placed very close to the magnetic needle, then the conductor, around the conductor can create magnetic field. Because of this magnetic field, magnetic needle is deflected. So, those things we learned from the Oersted's experiment. Then, what is the Ampere's swimming rule? Ampere's swimming rule. What is the Ampere's swimming rule? This is the person. This is the person. Now, if the current is entering from the bottom to top, then the magnetic needle will be deflecting towards his left hand. Towards his left hand. Then what is the Fleming's right hand thumb rule? Hold the conductor like this. Hold the conductor like this. The thumb shows the direction of the current, and the curled finger shows the direction of the magnetic field. Then, if the charged particle, if it is placed inside a magnetic field, it will experience a force. What is that force? F is equal to Q into V bar cross B bar, or F is equal to BQV sin theta. F is equal to BQV sin theta. When it is maximum, when it is minimum. Suppose if the velocity vector and B bar both are parallel, then the force is minimum. The velocity vector and B bar, if they both are perpendicular, then the force is maximum. If the particle is not moving, in such a condition also, the force is minimum. Then what is the definition of magnetic field? The region or space around a current carrying conductor in which its influence can be felt by magnetic needle, and that we call it as a magnetic field. Then what are the units of magnetic field? Its SI units are Tesla. Then what is the definition of Tesla? When 1 coulomb of charge is passing with a velocity of 1 meter per second and perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field with a force of 1 Newton, then the magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla.